Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk Bitchin' Files. It is Friday. What's the date today, Spice?
January 27th.
27th, yeah. How are you, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a minute. I'm great. My second stand-up album drops on February 6th. You can pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon Music. So it'll be exactly 2 years after my first. So
did you record at the same spot?
I did. I recorded at Lestat's again. It's interesting. It's so weird. Like, I re-listened to my first, and I'm proud of it, but there's definitely stuff in there that I'm like, oh, that was 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm the opposite right now. I listened to 2 years ago, and I go, man, this shit's way better than what I'm doing now. I'm not kidding. We were just talking about that, like how... Yeah. Material gets out of sight, out of mind. I think I need to work a new way of like just having like a master book with all the fucking. I mean, I have a small book that just has the like no music anymore, like words, like homophobes, fuck you, homophobe people, that kind of thing. But I almost need to put each bullet point in there, man. You find that?
That's what finally drove me from physical media, like writing my bits, to digital, is that I found that a couple of my bits, that you could keep going back to them.
Yeah.
And so I found myself like on handwritten, I'd go to the journal, like, oh yeah, that bit's great. I've added all this over the years. But then I wrote my next bit next to it. Like, I didn't know how much space to leave for, like, I'm just making something up as I'm looking around the place, but like bicycles. Let's say I had a great bicycle bit. And then 4 months later, I added another huge chunk to bicycles. And my journal, I couldn't write it in there, so I started creating a Google Doc, and then so I could just go in and bop. So now I have the whole thing. I can search through it. I can alphabetize it if I need to by like what I call the bit on a set list. And so it was that very fact of like adding to bits and wanting to keep them the whole version somewhere that finally drove me off of carrying a little notebook with me. And now I just email it or do it on like a Google Doc.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out because it's right now. It's funny because I quit sugar and I quit caffeine. Yeah. And I feel more scatterbrained than ever. You know what I'm saying? I think I was a little more focused on that shit, like in an ADD way, like, or what do they call that shit they give the kids?
Adderall, yeah.
Not like that shit they'd give me. It was like
Ritalin.
Ritalin, yeah. I think I almost need that shit, like to stay focused or something, because I'm just kind of like all over the fucking map, man. As far as like last night I was writing, and like I was just showing you this book, and it's just scribbles now because your ideas are flying out, and it's like now I need to rewrite this.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked, man. And then my main problem with the digital thing is I'm doing it on the fly, and then I go read it later, and it's like the words are all wrong.
Right.
Like, Cash says something like candy face. You're like, what's a candy face?
Right. Yeah.
Goddamn comedy.
I wish I miss the tactile aspect of writing down, because that would slow me down just enough that I would be a little more focused and not quite as scatterbrained. Because typing, it's like, and then I'm like, well, that's all garbage. If I had to handwrite it, it slowed me down. I only put what was important, and I could move on. But then just keeping it organized became such a chore. What I think the next thing is for me, and maybe this exists, but I don't know about it, is like really, it needs to be really good. Because for comedy, every word is important.
Yeah.
It needs to be really good voice-to-text dictation.
God,
like better than Siri. I just want to be rolling around, have headphones or whatever it is, and not if I'm in a coffee shop, I won't be like, oh, the hooker was on a bicycle, fucking a clown, like whatever.
Yeah, people would be like, that guy's a psycho.
Yeah. But like have that as an option to just like pull over somewhere and just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and like types it accurately, archives it in the cloud somewhere. For me, that'd be fucking incredible.
Yeah, me too, man. It's, it's really weird because I was just talking to you. First of all, if you do stand up and you're listening to this, if you don't record your sets, you're an idiot, because I've recorded every one since I started. I've only missed one because the phone fucking didn't work. So I got like 3,300 sets.
Yeah.
And they're all on this drive right here.
Yeah.
So I whipped out the drive and just random. Didn't matter. I saw a long set. There's one 45 minutes from 2 years ago. Boom, pressed play, sat in the house a couple of days ago and went, wow.
Yeah.
I was way better a couple of years ago because I think that I was doing longer sets all the time. I mean, my 15-minute sets now are fine.
Sure.
They get big laughs, but you ditch all the stuff like we were just saying to work on new shit in the middle of your set. So you cut your bits.
Right. Like if you have a killer 10-minute bit that you know works on the road or whatever, and then you're doing it in town and you have like an 8 to 15-minute set, you want to do a bit that works to get the crowd on your side. So you do that bit, but you don't want to do the full 10-minute version of it because you don't have time to work on new stuff. So you'll open with that, but you'll do a 5-minute version of it, and then you'll move into the new stuff, and then you'll close with something that works, and then you do that for a couple of months, and all of a sudden that bit in your head, instead of being a 10-minute bit, it becomes that 4 to 5-minute bit.
Yeah.
And then you go out on the road, and you're like, fuck, how do I only have 20 minutes of material?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I think, like last night somebody said, hey, you want to go to this concert? And I was just like, no. I'm completely back into the mode of the first 3 years of... Nah, I need to dive into this and keep working my ass off because it's not only a challenge, but I want to do like maybe a record or a special. I keep talking about it and stuff, and it's like it's time to really wrangle it all up and do something. I mean, you got 2 records out.
But that's the hardest part. So this new one, it's We're All Gonna Die.
Yeah,
and like listening to it, it doesn't have the laughs per minute as the first one.
Right.
It doesn't. I need to be honest about that, but I'm super proud of it, and maybe more proud of it because it's new right now. But I say something, there's some silly shit on there, but then there's some stuff that I think is important and that keeps me up at night. And I don't think stand-up should be a lecture, but I do think that sometimes saying something that you're wrestling with is just as important as having like a bunch of one-liners.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to listen to this album for me and see like where I am in life and like what's changed and things that I'm wrestling with and struggles that I'm having. And then my confidence on stage to be able to tell a 2 to 3 minute bit that isn't crushing.
Right.
But I still think is worthy of being on an album. And
Yeah.
it's this really weird thing when you're going through your shit to be like, no, this is me. This is my voice.
Yep.
I'm going to include it and get over the fact that it's not applause break, applause break, applause break, applause break, applause break, which I'm very capable of doing.
Yeah,
but sometimes I leave those sets
you get addicted to that, but then when you watch your favorite comics, they're not getting that. You know what I mean? They're laid back in a pocket. It's almost like Zeppelin. You know, they're laid back. There's a groove, and they're taking you on a journey.
Yeah.
You know, and as much as we know that, you get up there and you're like, oh fuck, someone's in the room now. I got to fucking rock it. You know what I mean? It's
well, especially in town, there's that desire or requirement to kill.
Yeah.
And like, so it's hard to find that moment where you're comfortable just sitting in the pocket. And I don't even, you mentioned like Zeppelin getting in the groove. I think that's a great analogy, but there's also, if you're an aggressive style of comedian, don't think you need to be like all of a sudden be the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
You can be Rage Against the Machine and get in the pocket.
Yeah.
And you can still be up there just like angry. I mean, you can be Kinnison.
Yeah,
you know, and he would go on a long thing that didn't have applause breaks in the middle because this needs to get out there.
Yep.
And then I think it's
Bill Hicks style too, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And like going to your point of like, so then what is your material? And then what is your album? And what do you want people to own of you?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's pressure.
There's other pressure too that people don't realize of, okay, I need to go on I think this is one of the biggest things I've noticed. And, I don't want to do an hour anymore.
Sure.
I've already cast that out. I want to do 30.
Well, I'll come with you, and anytime you want, I'll do that other 30 with you.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? No, on the road I'll do the hour, but I'm saying shoot an hour.
Right,
I don't want to shoot an hour because I challenge anyone right now to watch all the specials on Netflix that are an hour. And not look at your phone.
Right.
Let's see if you can do it. Because, in all my favorite comics, there's like 5 I can really, I'm trying to get away from the phone more and more.
Yeah.
And but I think if you're a new comic if I go up to someone and I say, dude, I saw this special, you got to see it. And the guy goes, I never heard of him. And you go, yeah, but check it out. His hour is great. You're already tapped out. You're like, I don't got an hour.
You'll watch
for
10
that.
minutes and then see if
Right.
you like it.
But if I go, dude, it's 30 minutes, man. It's then you're going, 30. I got nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
And then put your best bid at the front.
Right.
That's almost people used to have the closer. You can't have the closer anymore. It's got to be the opener to grab them so they're not at their phone, And so I think the 30-minute is what I want to try to do, But my point is, I've seen it. A lot of people do hours, and they're not really. They don't do hours a lot because none of us want to be a ghost in town.
Right.
Which is the old way was like you went out a couple years on the road, then you tuned up your hour. It was so fucking strong when you got home because you were like out at sea.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And then you came back. But now the store in LA is so hot and New York's hot that you don't want to just disappear because then all of a sudden they're like, what happened to that guy?
Yeah, he quit?
Yeah, it's fucking true, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's this strange balance. Like I just ran 45 at the Improv, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Like I felt great.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, imagine if that was 30, it would have been fucking real fire.
Sure.
So it's so hard comedy. It's crazy.
Well, I feel like the hour is born out of two things. One, the live show.
Yeah.
Because if someone's plunking down $20 plus 2 drinks, like
course.
you want to have time to sit down. And yeah, there's an opener and a feature and whatever, but you want a show to be about 90 minutes to 2 hours. Like that's a night out.
Yep.
Right? Like that's, you feel justified
Perfect.
getting a babysitter and going out and it's not too long. And then the live show, I find that you want to let the audience relax for a little bit, whether it's the check spot or you can't just keep punching someone.
No way, it won't work.
So you settle into a story or a rhythm or you do whatever, then you bring them back up, then you take them down again, then you bring them back up. And then the other side of that was, so like that's where it comes from in the live show. And then like the hour recording or hour album, it used to be the requirement to record a special and put out a special. The cost was so high that if you were going to do it, it's like...
Might as well shoot the hour because you're not going to come back for 5 years.
Right.
You know?
You're not going to do one next year like Louis does every year, every 9 months now. But now that stuff has gone down. I mean, you even see it in music where like, when... Oh, God, I'm trying to think of like Sia. Yeah. When was Sia's last album out? A couple of years ago, I think, but she's had like 3 singles since then. Yeah. You can just pop a single.
That's
because recording is the barrier to entry is so much lower that you don't need to produce an album every year. It's
almost cool to do just 15-minute specials.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like EPs on iTunes.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a 15-minute EP.
Yeah.
And then the people are so focused, wow, man, that's already over. I could have listened to more. Well, there'll be another one in a couple months,
That's interesting. Make like episodic stand-up specials.
Yep.
Where it's like, here's season 1.
Yeah.
Come get season 1. Season 1's going to be 8 episodes long. They drop every other month.
That would be fucking cool, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder if Netflix would do that.
Well,
it's
even
stand-up.
CISO might do it. Like they're so new, like up for a new plan. There's our new idea.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's still stand-up. It's not like
each
sketches
week
or
you
whatever.
get 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like 4 comics.
And
so
none of this
show's
bullshit where they
hour.
go, it's a digital show. No, this is on your fucking platform.
Yeah.
But it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That's interesting.
Fuck yeah. Quit trying to steal it, people.
Yeah, we just copyrighted that.
Yeah. Bing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's what's been going on. I haven't seen you in a while. And what have you been doing? You out? I haven't seen you at all.
Yeah, it's been a bit. So recording the album, getting that stuff done. I was finishing up some writing. It's like the back, like we shot those sketches.
Yeah, we did some. I shot one of your sketches. Funny, I just saw it. Came out great.
Yeah, it looks great. Eric Lombard was the director. And
what's
DP
funny
on
was
it.
I had shit removed on my face, and it looks even more psycho in the sketch. I had 3 things burned off my face, and then I said, "Oh, I'm shooting on Friday," and the guy goes, "Oh, you'll be fine." I wasn't fine at all.
It's perfect for the sketch, though.
Perfect.
It works
just
great.
Looked like a psycho with fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah. So those should be coming out soon. But it's like back end. I've been doing a lot of the non-sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Like really listening to the album, going over the sketches, getting the edits just right, like timing in a sketch, like where to cut, what to leave in. and then working in town some, but I feel like we've just kind of been missing each other. I was on the road a little bit, went to San Diego a whole bunch. I'm trying to work this clean set, like this 5 to 10 minute clean set, so I can get back out on doing colleges again.
Oh yeah.
And like,
are you gonna showcase for that?
Yeah, go through the whole NACA thing again.
Oh yeah.
I cuss generally,
yeah,
but my bits don't need it.
Yeah.
And then so I went and I got this great tape in San Diego, and I was like so excited. Then I watched it, and I didn't even know I did it. But like I say fuck like 3 times. I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's so hard, right? Like we were just talking, I'm trying to put together a clean 5. And you know, man, is it hard.
Yeah.
And I'm almost up for the challenge, you know, of like, it's going to force me to write, you know. I mean, you start looking at the material too after a while, and you're like, all right, I've covered all this edgy stuff. You know what I mean? Let's get into some other stuff like smoking angel dust with Motorhead. That's kind of funny. You know what I mean? So I got to, you know, it's a challenge of doing clean. Boy, I watched Gaffigan's special to watch one of the masters do it.
Yep.
And of course, one of my favorite comedians of all time, Seinfeld, was always clean. You know, it's really hard, right?
Well, I feel like it all comes down to your voice and being who you are.
Yeah, so I'm not a clean guy.
Right. Oh, I know you stink right now, Dean. But so it's like finding a way to be true to yourself. But then also, like you said, I love the idea of the challenge of working clean, because you certainly can.
Yeah.
It's just doing it and then doing it enough that you're comfortable doing it, so it feels like you're up there having a good time, not up there being like,
restricted.
And the green grass grows all around and around, and because you can't say what you want to say.
Well, here's the main problem. My material is in general is clean, top ideas.
Right. Yep.
But now network TV, which in 2017. You think it's going to be like easier, you know what I mean? But they're like, you know, well, the topic. It's like, wait a minute. Is clean no swearing? Because this is a full clean set. No, now clean is, we don't like this topic. We don't like that topic. And you kind of were making fun of some people, and those are our advertisers or whatever. Now,
we see 1,000 tweets coming at us saying they're angry about this.
Yeah,
you're going to get that no matter what I say.
Yeah, no matter what.
Hi, my name's Dean Delray. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
If he said Dean, I fucking hate that name.
Man, I can't believe it, man. Edgy ass material. You said Dean. But, you know, it reminds me of James Dean. He died in a car crash, man.
My dad
Is this a car crash joke against my family? You know what I mean? People are absurd, right?
That's a funny sketch. Like the overly...
the over PC dude.
The overly sensitive or the over... personal guy. Like everything becomes personal. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night. A good night? My mom killed herself at night.
Yeah.
Is this making fun about my mom?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. It's so brutal. I was with somebody, a big comic over the weekend, hanging out with him. And he said, and it was really, really interesting. And I learned so much these guys don't even understand. I'm not hanging out like, I hang out and learn stuff from them that blows my mind.
Sure.
So he said, you know, and I love this. He said, I don't block people anymore on Twitter because, you know, that gives them fuel.
Yeah.
To make fake accounts and come at me and stuff.
And they know you did it.
And they know you did it.
Yeah.
He goes, now I mute them. So now they're just screaming at the world, and they think that I'm still they're, you know, like seeing it or whatever, but I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
And
smart.
And I was like, right then it hit me, because the more and more confrontation you give, the worse it is. It messes with your time in the day of like, I should be writing right now. I'm fighting some squirrel in Milwaukee who has 7 followers. You know what I mean? Perfect example. A guy hit me a couple days ago, and this fucking blew my mind. I'm going to tell you what he said. So, you know, Triumph the insult dog is one of the funniest things to me in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I've always worshipped him.
Yeah.
Especially the Star Wars one where he's in line interviewing the nerds.
Oft imitated, never
Could be some of the funniest shit made.
Yeah.
So he would go to Comic-Con. He would go to different things.
He's lambasted everybody.
Yeah,
every spectrum, every race, nerd, not nerd, jock. He's done everything, and they're all incredible.
And that comes down to exactly what Burr says on stage, where he says, Oh, you're mad at me now. I shit on like eight organizations of people, but now once I got to you, it's not funny anymore, which is perfect example. So Triumph the Insult Dog went to the inauguration.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's some of the funniest shit going, man. It is so funny. And I tweeted up, I said, could be the funniest thing I've seen in years. And some guy hit me and said, you know, man, it looks like I would hate to have to unfollow you, but it looks like you're one of those Hollywood elitists. And
I mean, we are in your 10-room mansion right now. So I should mention that.
Right, it's unbelievable. First of all, whoever the fuck you voted for, this is a comedy piece.
Right.
This is nothing else but something funny to watch.
Yeah.
Now, if it was interviewing Hillary Trump people, he would have been Hillary Clinton people. He would have been totally cool with like, yeah, fry that bitch, yeah. But you know, that is the perfect example of somebody I don't even. First of all, he doesn't even come to my shows. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Wants all my podcasts for free.
Yeah.
Everything I do is free, you know.
Yeah.
Probably never donated to the podcast, nothing, and then complains. And while he does that, sits back and watches TV all the time, which is made by Hollywood people. You know what I mean? If you don't like Hollywood people, you shouldn't have a TV. You probably shouldn't have a
You're
go
the
to the
Unabomber.
movies.
You're the Unabomber. Go live in a cabin, which is a great life if you know don't kill people. But yeah, that could be a great life. But
my point is like I didn't say anything in there. I didn't say fuck Trump, fuck Hillary.
I mean, I'll say it.
Anybody, but it's just absurd. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. You know, so. I learned a great lesson over the weekend. First of all, I was just minutes away from just firing at it. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. You know, if you don't think that's funny, please unfollow me. If you don't think that sketch is funny, you're the same guy that's saying Saturday Night Live's not funny right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is probably one of the best years they've had in years.
They're always great at the political time. They're always great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart. It's like I'm not opposed to having thoughtful discussions with people. I'm certainly open to criticism, but it's like the way people come at you on Twitter or certain places, it's like, you're a fucking idiot and I fucking hate you. And then you're just like, okay, like, oh, okay. I thought you were cool, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were, I download all your shit that you put out for free and never contributed. And it's just like, yeah, stop. If you're going to be that person, I'm going to mute you. Have fun yelling into the void. I'm not going to waste my time on it. If you want to come at me and be like, hey, dude, you know, you tweeted out this thing. I kind of don't agree with that. You know, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, oh, cool. Here's my email. Let's talk. I've given out my phone number quite a few times. I'm sure it's not hard to find my phone number either. Where like, I'm open to have the discussion. I'm not right about everything. I'd love to hear your side of the story because one, you might change my mind or give me new information. Two, that's great comedy to be fully informed because then when you're on stage, you can formulate your bit how you want, but you know all sides. So you're talking about a full thought, but it's just the way people feel entitled to come at you. And I should admit, and I think that you would do the same, I've been that guy before. I'm not perfect. I've tweeted some shitty things at people, and then I instantly regret it, and I always try to make amends as quick as possible. But I think that's the problem, is because it feels impersonal enough that you send this thing, you're in a huff, and you're like, bleh, 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 and then you're just like, oh, no, I don't need to.
Yeah.
I'm a person. They're a person. There's a better way to do this. And that's the key, is just slow down. There's a better way to do this.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's like one more, you know, it's funny too, because as much as I would love to get off Twitter, I'm getting more, I'm at 18,000.
Yeah.
And if like 100 of those people come to the shows, that's 100 more than I'm going to get any other way. You know what I mean? It's so fucking tough to get butts in the seats.
Right.
You know, with the when are you coming? Oh, I just missed you and all that shit. It's just, it's a brutal era, man. And it's a sensitive time right now. But if you take that Triumph the Insult Dog personal, man, that is sad, because you are not going to like my comedy at all.
Right.
At all, which I understand. You obviously haven't come to a show and was going like, whoa, because that Triumph the Insult Dog is like minor compared to like some of the shit I'm going to say at the show, you know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily political. I'm not a political comic, but, you know, who knows what you're not going to like.
Exactly. Right. I think I've maybe said this on this show before, but it's worth repeating because maybe you didn't listen to that last episode, or it was years ago. Like I was still living in San Diego at the time. I was still co-hosting this show called The Stats. And I used to have this joke. I don't do either joke anymore, but I had a joke about my own personal racism and the way I misjudged people. And in that, I had it was like an all walks of life people. And one of the people I said that wasn't the butt of the joke at all, but was a traditionally dressed Muslim man. And I was the butt of the joke. It was like, then I did this stupid thing and I basically offended everybody. And the idea was like, can I be racist if I just literally offended every person? Like every white guy, girl, everything. Black guy,
dogs.
I was like, how?
Black licorice.
Right, I was like, am I racist or not racist? But that was the joke. And then I had another joke. And this one is a dumb joke. I'll never bring it back again. But whatever. I was young. We're figuring out our voices. And it was about like midgets. And then after the show, this guy came up to me and he's like, dude, you're really funny. I love watching you grow. You're great. You're so fucking funny. But if I could just give you some advice, and I was already like, shut up. He goes, dude, you can't make fun of people. Yeah. You got to drop that stuff out of your act. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, dude, that Muslim joke, that is not funny at all. What you need are more jokes like that midget joke.
Unbelievable.
And I was just like, oh, fuck you. So you're Muslim and you didn't listen to my joke. You heard me say.
Yeah, that's what we're just saying.
You heard me say traditionally dressed Muslim. And
everyone laughs until it's about them.
Yeah. And you quit listening to about everyone else in the joke and how it came back to me. And then you were like, oh, midgets. Yeah, they're. And that to me, I make fun of the guy for giving me that note, but it was actually. The note was helpful, but not in the way he meant it.
Right.
It was helpful in the way of like...
Yeah, clowning on...
And anything I say.
Yep.
You rollerblade, you didn't skateboard? Fuck you, bro. And you're just like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's
a lose-lose.
It really is. You know, we were just talking about it. It's like, you know, you could put up a set on TV, and here come the fucking sharks, and you know... and we know how hard it is to do a set, and then immediately the comedy police come on. Yeah. I heard that joke in 71 in my dad's ball sack when I was floating around there. He was listening to fucking Carlin, and you said shark attack, and Carlin had a shark attack joke.
That's a Pryor joke. You said cocaine.
Yep.
Pryor's done jokes about cocaine.
It's unbelievable, you know, and you got to have thick skin, which to me, you know, it's like people, you know, they're so unhappy. They just want to shoot daggers. You were on TV. Instead of going, I'm jealous of that. It's like, let me find what's wrong with it, you know?
You spend years honing your art, your craft, whatever it is, making boots, working on cars, being a salesman at a store, whatever you're doing. You know, you spend your life perfecting this craft, getting great at it. And there's always going to be someone who, instead of creating positivity and putting good stuff into the world, they spend their time perfecting being an asshole. And like what gives them joy is trying to take other people down. And I just never understand that mindset.
Yeah.
I understand being upset. I understand being cynical at times. I understand things like, for me personally, Batman versus Superman letting me down.
Yeah.
And like having valid critiques with art. But like the way that people like, for better or worse, like layman's terms, just troll shit.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, what
straight
the fuck
up,
are you doing?
It's just fuck that.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. It's just fuck that.
And then they get like 4 thumbs up on it by other trolls. And like they feel empowered by their shit. Like, Joe's set was shitty. I told him. And like, why?
Promote what's great, not what you hate, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff I don't like out there, and I don't just go online at night and go, fuck that. You know? Let's look at some questions here. Let's see if we got any.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me see here. Which, by the way, great to see you, dude.
Likewise, man. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, right? Okay, let me see. Also, if you're listening to the podcast, Monday is going to be Bill Paxton on this fucking
nice.
show. One of my old friends, and one of the reasons I probably do comedy, because I told him a couple stories and he almost died. And I was like, maybe I could do this. All right, let's see here. Okay. This one here. Since Trump won for president of the U.S., will Canada want to pick Kevin O'Leary for prime minister? I don't know who that is because I'm not a politics guy. I do know one thing. I was born in a national park. I was born in Yosemite. I lived there for years, and so it's personal now. You know what I mean? So I don't know anything about this, though, do you?
I think the short answer, before I get out of my depth, is just the world is going to change over the next 4 years, and I'm not sure if it's going to be people going along, like getting on board and this choo-choo train's leaving the station, or if you're going to see people pulling back and the rubber band's going to snap the other way. But there's going to be change, and it just depends on which way it goes. It's a pendulum. It always swings and swings and swings, and I'm just not sure what part of the trajectory we're in right now.
Yeah. So
it's a little too early for me to say, like, here's what's going to happen. But it's going to swing.
Yeah. I'm not a politics guy. So when I talk music or movies or comedy or whatever, I'm well versed in it.
Right.
And I go deep into it. But it's if we're just looking at surface, not quite sure who wants the non-free healthcare. I don't really understand this one at all. I'm a 51-year-old guy. I'm going to be 51 in 2 weeks, and I have no health care, and I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And, all the people that you love, artists, most of the time, 99% of them don't ever make it, but they are doing what they love to do, and they don't have health care.
And they're making stuff that you love.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this show is so popular, and
the show's huge. I got no health care.
It's not buying you a car.
No, ain't buying shit. You know what I mean?
It's like buying maybe a pair of Vans or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I don't know,
what I would like, and this is the same reason that pulled me out of law, is that in my ideal world, there aren't parties. There aren't Republicans and Democrats, because then it becomes, you get into these fights
teams
of Red Sox, Yankees.
Yeah, totally.
Instead of having an honest discussion about the issues, and you don't feel compelled to be on a team because of whatever. So I don't even want to call it Obamacare. I want to understand the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
And I want to understand perceived problems with it and perceived benefits with it, and a new system, the Even Better Care Act, I'll call it.
Yeah.
And I want to understand its problems and its benefits, and then I want to be able to look at it and make my own conclusions, and then I want to have intelligent people give me their opinions, and give them as opinions as people, and not, I'm on the Red Sox, so you like what I have to say, fuck the Yankees. Well, I'm on the Yankees, you like what I have to say, fuck the Yankees. I want anyone, I just don't think it's such a shortcut, and you get into this thing where it's like, oh, I'm not going to listen to you because you're a Republican commentator, so fuck you. Well, I'm not going to listen to you because you're on Fox News, so fuck you. Well, I'm not going to listen to you because you're on MSNBC, so fuck you. And instead of just like, what is this shit saying?
Yeah.
And what is it doing? And then I think we can have an honest discussion about it. And to me, that's the biggest rift in America right now, is that we're on teams.
Well, yeah, it's...
And that's divisive.
But nobody can explain to me why they don't want health care. It's always like I look at, if you, let's say you are a Republican, and let's say you worked at fucking, let's say you worked somewhere for 25 years. And this is a perfect example of my cousin. And you get laid off.
Yeah.
And now you're looking at Cobra. And they go, we want $700 a month for insurance.
Yeah.
And then you go and you go, $700 a month? Well, I'm laid off. I don't have any money. They go, yeah, sorry. And then you've got a pre-existing condition, and you go to a new carrier that's maybe cheaper or whatever, and they go, well, it seems here that you have this. We're not going to insure you. And now you die. This is exactly what happened to my cousin, all right? He worked for a huge hotel chain for 20 years, got laid off, gay man, had AIDS, and was taking the medicines, then got laid off, and couldn't afford the Cobra. Then tried to get a new plan. They go, oh, you got AIDS? Nope, sorry, he died in 6 months. You know what I mean? And this guy was living a total normal life for 20 years. And it's insane out there. These are humans, you know? It's humans. Like when I got ran over on the motorcycle, no health care.
Yeah.
Someone ran me over. You know, it's like I can't control that, you know? And now here I am like, oh, fuck, I can't even go to the hospital because they're going to bill me like 30 grand.
Yeah.
So I got to call your wife and ask her some home remedies. You know, it's just, I don't understand it, you know? And fucking up the earth too. I don't understand. I read yesterday that if you eat seafood, did you read this? Every seafood, every fish in the ocean now has plastic in them. And there's something like 1 billion pounds of plastic goes in the ocean a week, something like that. Like what? Why are we even making plastic anymore? I don't get that. Glass was great. We recycled glass, and it was fine, you know? Who's throwing this shit in the ocean? They said that every piece of plastic ever made is still on the earth.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, again, potentially stepping out of my depth, but it's short-sightedness, and it's not accepting. It's hard for us to consider tomorrow, much less 10 years from now, much less after our lifetime. And then it's this desire for profits and to get things cheaper.
Totally.
And
profits.
And to consume. And, you know, I'm guilty of it just like anybody else. Like, I love my iPhone. I have to admit that it wasn't made under the best working conditions. Like, maybe it was made under the best working conditions for workers in that country.
Right.
But that wasn't. But how would I feel if my iPhone was $2,000?
Yeah.
You know? And so it's such a fucking push and pull, man. But at the end of the day, I think it really is short-sightedness, and then this idea of, and we're all, again, I'll throw myself under the bus with this. We're all guilty of it at some point. I'm going to get mine. Like, I'm in power now. I'm going to get mine. And you know what? Fuck that, because I had to do that, and now I'm going to do that. And like the example of it, I think, for the everyday person is some version of hazing. Like when you're a freshman in high school, you got shat on, and then when you become a senior, you're like, dude, it's just fun and games. I'm going to push a couple of kids into the locker.
Yeah.
And I think it's like versions of that when you're Obama or Hillary or Trump or Bush or the CEO of Exxon or Steve Jobs or whoever, you get to this point where it's like, I worked hard to get here, which you did. I got to protect myself. So I got to do whatever I can to fucking stay here. And then, you know what? I'm going to get mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to get mine.
I get it. There's no angels out there. I understand that.
Right?
I understand that. But if you're pointing the finger, you're just as bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no angels. I get it.
Yeah.
But we definitely, you know, I mean, it's just insane to think like, you know, like people like global warming isn't happening, and let's drill for oil here, and we got plenty of oil. I thought our whole thing was try to get electric cars, still keep going. You know, like we're not even praising Tesla. You know what I mean? Except that they making a profit. We're not going like, all right, that's off the oil tit. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking, I mean, we could talk about this for hours and hours. And like I said, I'm not a pro, but I'm seeing an electric car. And if I could find an electric bike that went more than fucking 40 miles, man, or 80, these damn things, and they were built better. Like I was riding that secret Harley for a while. Yeah. And I loved it. And they killed that program. I don't know why.
Probably cost. I mean, it's hard. I get it.
I get it too.
It's so fucking hard because you get into a world. I don't even know how to say it.
That's what happens. We get into a world of like, you know, comfort of like, well, I you know.
It's not that bad. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
And then like the beauty of this show, like you can put out a great sounding podcast, relatively inexpensive. You can put out, I could make a website right now that looks as legitimate as CNN.com.
Yeah.
And I could write, I don't even want to use the term fake news because that's loaded in a weird way.
Yeah.
But I could write whatever I want and make it look as professional as anything I want. And so you get that out there, and it's hard to really dig deep and determine what is real and what isn't. Because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I believe everything I read in the New York Times. Like, you should believe that. Go read the New York Times and the Washington Post. Read those. That's all truth. Because and this sounds weird and like conspiracy theorist, but like that's denying the fact that they too are owned by huge fucking companies.
Hell yeah, dude.
That have an agenda. I think that there is honesty and truth in that form of journalism, but I can understand why some people feel burned by that and jaded by it. And then also when you live in a media world where like CNN or Fox News, they say we're the news, and they have actual news shows on that are great. But they also are competing against everything else because they're trying to get ads and viewership and ad dollars.
Of course, so they got to make up a couple things.
Then they have Bill O'Reilly, who is probably one of the greatest entertainers of my lifetime. Yeah. But he himself has said on numerous occasions, I'm not the news.
Yeah.
But he quacks like a duck and he walks like a duck, and his set sure as fucking looks like a duck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like you're on a news channel where there is legitimate news. There's news in your name. It's set up to look like a news show, but he's saying opinions, I feel, I think. Dean, you're on this show. Obama's a monster. How do you feel about that? You're saying how you feel, blah, blah, blah. And then CNN has the same thing. Wolf Blitzer isn't the news, or whomever you want to pick. Yeah. Larry King, whatever. I'm not the news. I'm an opinion piece. I'm an interview piece. But it's built like a duck. It walks like a duck. It quacks like a duck. So you're already in this world.
And you're just walking by and you hear something. And you go, that's what I was saying. Like I'm walking by and I hear like, oh, okay, the affordable health care is gone. And this is like, wait a minute, what why? You know what I mean? It's like,
and we're all busy, and to sit down and like drill down on that and yourself and go pull the actual code and look at
both sides and all that shit. It's like crazy, you know?
I never thought I'd say it, but there's too much information, and it's too easy to make good-looking information. Like 2 years ago, there was like Nintendo's new system is coming out now in March. It's called the Switch. But like 2 years ago, maybe it was a year ago, there was like a prototype leaked. And this got all the sites believed it. Like it was, seeded the right way, put in the right like leak forms, done all this stuff, and then a guy was like, haha, I tricked you. I made a 3D printer. Like that was 3D printed. It's totally fake. Yeah. Here's how I did it. Here's how I made it look real. Here's where I got the UPC code on the back for a test device or whatever it did. And it fooled everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, fuck, man. Like you can't, and like reputable video game news sites, they ran it as a rumor because it wasn't Nintendo saying.
Right.
But like,
I hear you, dude.
Like and this is a specific example, and I'm only saying it because it's the most recent. I'm sure I could find Obama ones too if I think back. But like when Trump comes out and his administration says my crowd size was the largest ever.
Yeah.
And like that isn't true, right?
Yep.
Then it's hard for me to believe later, and I'm making this up, if he says, hey, our embassy was attacked by German nationalists.
Yeah.
I'm like,
wait,
probably. Like I see a picture.
You started your first day with some jive.
I'm like, Obama has plenty of jive in his shit too. So I'm not. But it's like,
of course, fuck. That's
man.
My whole point. That's my whole point of the triumph the insult dog.
Right.
It's
Full
like,
circle. Thank you.
I was never sitting here going like, oh, fucking Obama was the man. You know what I mean? Like, of course there was a bunch of problems there. And of course there were some problems with Obamacare. I couldn't even figure out how to sign up.
The website didn't work for a year.
And then the fucking doctors wouldn't take it. I would have to go downtown. My point is, if I'm a new guy, I come in and go, all right, I'm going to look like a real hero here. I'm going to fix his fucking Obamacare.
We'll leave this around because people are using it, and now let's fix it.
Let's fix it and make it even better.
Yeah.
Let's look at Canada. Let's look at some other people and see what they did and go, hey, how did you make this work? And let's make it even better. I'll look like a fucking king.
Yeah.
Instead of going, slash, that's out, sick people again, It's like crazy. All right, let's get it. Here's another question here. Into some music here. What are your thoughts on bands like Fugazi and post-punk noise rock scene? I was a big fan of hair metal as a kid, but once Nirvana Lucian noise came, I was on board. And yeah, man, I mean, like if you listen to me, I'm not a one music guy. That's the main thing I always hate.
Yeah.
When people tweet at me, only one style of music, like all kinds of fucking different acts. And growing up, I missed Fugazi And then once the Dave Grohl show was on, and they showed the whole DC scene, there I am on Bad Brains, Fugazi, Ian MacKaye. I knew who all those guys were, and I knew about the $5 shows, and I was way into that do-it-yourself shit. But I just, at the time, was touring, playing music, and I wasn't, like, diving in, you know? And now I'm like, oh, thank God. Now it's like I have, like, 20 new bands because of that show, Sonic Highways, you know? So awesome. And matter of fact, I barely listen to anything from the 80s at all. I listen to Guns N' Roses, of course, and Aerosmith, and maybe the first 2 Motley Crue records, and that's it. I don't listen to any. I mean, to me, it's Jade's Addiction, it's Alice in Chains, it's Soundgarden, it's Nirvana, it's Mother Love Bone. That was the stuff that I still fucking listen to now that held up. Blind Melon, all that stuff.
Well, I think, like, to this question, I love it because it led to pop punk, which is what raised me, which I know is weird, but it's like you had Fugazi, which then led into things like Operation Ivy, which then led into Rancid, which then led into Bad Religion, which then led into reactions to that were like Blink-182 were touring with Bad Religion. And it's like any type of music, you can look at fucking Garth Brooks, you know, which led to Taylor Swift, which led to Justin Bieber, which led, you know, partnering with fucking Skrillex, who's now working with Daft Punk, like there are tentacles in everything. So I think it's fine to say like, hey, that album isn't my favorite, but to like look at a genre or something like that and not find something that you can appreciate about it. Like, I know you have a joke about jazz, but like even jazz, like you listen to jazz and it's like, oh shit, like where would Grateful Dead or Fish be without jazz?
I love jazz. I just think the fans are ridiculous.
It's like
you know what I mean?
A fan of anything is ridiculous. Hardcore, like, no, dude,
that's the thing. It's like, I was saying, it's like saying I only see dramas. All other film is bullshit. You're like, wait, you only go to dramas? Yeah, comedies are out. Documentaries suck. You know.
Oh, you like dramas, dude? I quit watching movies after they became speakies. You watch movies with dialogue? Fuck you, dude.
God, that's so dumb. Silent film is the actual real film genre. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're still watching films, dude? I watch all of my stuff at the Old Globe in England still, dude. You watch film? It's not a play. You watch plays, dude? You're not reading books, man? Oh, dude, I only get my shit from oral stories told around a campfire, bro.
It's so fucking absurd, right?
Like, have a favorite.
Yeah.
Definitely have a favorite. Dude, I've been into this band, Real Friends. They have like, I think their last album came out in 2016. I'm so glad I found them. It was like through like the, people had tweeted at me with them before, but I kind of just like didn't really dive in. But it was like through Spotify or Apple Music. Like I was listening to a lot of Front Bottoms, and there's this band Modern Baseball, and I was diving into like Sounds Similar.
Right.
And Real Friends, I think their last album was 2016. Dude, this is like right in line with what could have come out when I was in high school. It's like Phoenix TX, like that harder pop punk kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's so great the way you can find that now.
It's great,
like,
right?
I have 4 albums and like 2 EPs. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Now you've got a whole new like 6 months of music to listen to. Isn't it crazy? That's how I was with that fucking Sonic Highways. I was like, wow, Fugazi, killer. Holy shit, Bad Brains, you know?
And so while I lament the internet and the rise of all this shit, it is great that I can be listening to Real Friends, you know, doing like emo pop punk 1 minute and then still blasting the fuck out of The Weeknd right after that. And it's just like it's literally a Vegas buffet.
Absolutely.
And you can just, what is that new Blind Melon? Do I like it? I don't know. Do I have 2 minutes of my day to see? Yep.
Yeah, man.
This is great. Let's go.
Today, Omar put out a new record, who is one of my fucking favorite humans on the planet. If you love At the Drive-In, or if you loved Anti-Mask, or if you love fucking the Mars Volta.
Dude, so prolific.
This guy has got like 20 records nonstop, and he put out a record today that was just fucking incredible. The band's called Zen Thrills, and the record came out today. And you got to hear this. If you're into like almost The Cure, but psychedelic, garagey. Man, this shit is unbelievable. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't want to say The Cure because maybe you don't like The Cure and you won't listen to it. But it just sounded like really like it's almost like a David Lynch style soundtrack, you know, style dark, weird. God, it's great, man. But yeah, it's been nonstop with the music lately. I can't even keep up. People are hitting me all day with shit. Like last night, put out a new single. Oh, fuck, I was just going to talk about it. Mastodon. Yeah. And it was unbelievable. I was like, wow. And then I tweeted it up, and then people hit me with like 4 bands. Have you heard this band? I was like, oh my God, I can't.
Unplug.
They're fucking great though, but I was like, God, I can't even keep up, man.
Can I tell you my dumb new music joke that I love? It's just a one-liner, and it's dumb, but I love it. So this is the most stand-up I'll do on the show. It's just strict stand-up. So I just found this out the other day. Apparently that T-shirt company Joy Division put out a couple of CDs back in the day.
Oh yeah, I saw that. yeah, I saw that tweet. That was great. That's a good one. That's a great. That's totally like when I go to Coachella. Yeah. And I just see like hundreds of girls wearing Iron Maiden shirts. Right. I'm like, really? So which one's your favorite? Oh, I thought it was a Monster shirt. You know what I mean?
What was that? I was out walking around Pasadena. I don't know where that accent came from. It's where the Rose Bowl is played if you're not in LA. It's great. There's a little part of Old Town. And, oh, God, who was? Oh, it was like a Forever 21. I remember I texted you the picture, and I had one of the mannequins made up in Forever 21 was wearing, like, ripped jeans and, like, a Metallica shirt. Yeah. And I think I texted you, and I was like, sorry, Dean, Metallica's over. This is a Forever 21 mannequin.
Yeah, you know, it's hilarious,
Make
right?
that money.
It's all about shirts.
It really is, dude. You're not making money on the music anymore.
No, it's all about shirts, man. You know, which by the way, there's some amazing concert shirts out right now. That Maid worn, man, he just hit me with some new ones.
When is your new shirt? I feel like you're due for a new shirt.
Yeah, I got it. It's being made up right now. Okay. I'm going to be dropping it. Hopefully, I thought it was going to be done 3 weeks ago, so I haven't even dropped it yet. But it's my favorite one so far. But yeah, we'll get that going. Here's another question. I hate airlines and airports. You guys travel a lot. What are some airport horror stories you've encountered? Well, I'm on TSA approval now, pre-check, and man, this is like saving my my day because my main thing I hate. People shit on the airlines all the time, but it's really the people. It's the people that blow my mind, like
the other customer, the other passengers.
Yeah, just going into the metal detector with belts and chains and fucking knives and just that stuff. And then the people. This is why I signed up for TSA PreCheck. I was tired of going into the circle thing, putting your feet on the yellow thing, because people don't even shower when they go to the airport in the morning, and they put their stinky feet on those yellow pads, and then my clean socks go on there, and then my feet are just like stink now. Yeah. Stink foot.
You should write that down.
Right? Yeah.
That could go well with your armpit hug.
Yeah.
It's really fucking funny.
Yeah, it's true really though, funny. Man. It's like now my feet stink all day. I've got secondhand foot stink.
It's a good bit. It's really funny. I need to do it just because, and like you, I like wearing boots and high tops. Yeah. And I just hate unlacing it.
Oh God, it's the worst.
And then you find yourself like not wearing your boots to the airport, and then you got to pack your boots. It's like, I'm gone for a weekend. Yeah. I'm not going to pack fucking boots. Yeah. And then
get the pre-check. It's easy. Yeah. Everybody wants to know how to do it. Go TSA.org and then just fill out the questionnaire, and then you go in town to where they fingerprint you. Okay. And a lot of people go, if it's some government shit there, fingerprint you. Believe me, they already got your fingerprint on your fucking iPhone.
When I killed that guy in 84.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, that's my nightmare of airports. And then, of course, that Chicago O'Hare or the Atlanta airport. See you later. Yeah. Too fucking big, too many people. It takes hours to get to a gate. What do you got?
So my big takeaway about airports is when I travel by myself now, I just find it so leisurely versus going with two kids.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh, the plane's delayed for 4 hours? Great. I'm going to watch all these movies I haven't seen. Bop, 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 bop. And I load up the iPad. The thing that pisses me off the most about the airport and air travel in general is that you'll check your flight, you'll see it's delayed by 4 hours or whatever the fuck it is, and you're like, God damn it. You still have to get there. Let's say your plane's scheduled to leave at 1. You check in advance. It's delayed till 5. You still have to get there at 1.
Yeah, or else they give up your seat.
Right. Or if they make up time, they'll leave early.
Yeah.
And that shit pisses me off because, like, the airport's not a pleasant place to stay. It's not designed.
Shit food.
You're right. It's not designed to accommodate people for 5 hours or 2 hours or 4 hours.
Especially with diabetes. I'm sitting around there starving now, and I'm like, wow, I got diabetes. You got nothing for me to eat in this fucking prison.
These $10 nuts from the magazine stand or whatever.
Oh, God, right? $7.95 for a small fucking bag of almonds.
Yeah, and so it's that. You have to still be there at your pre-designed time.
Jeez.
And you're not whatever. So, like, for me, it just wasn't a horror story, but it was like the most nervous I've ever been. I was flying out of Bangor, Maine, back to Boston. And there was like a horrible storm going through the East Coast. And I didn't need to, but felt like I needed to get back to Boston for this shit I had lined up the next day. And they're like, well, there's one plane going out. I was like 15th on the wait list. And like Boston needed this plane back. And I ended up getting the last seat on it because I was the only one that didn't have baggage. And like this was a small plane, it's a regional jet. Everyone else had bags. And like they didn't have weight to get the bags on. And they're like, everyone else like, well, when am I going to get my bag? Like, we don't know. We don't know how long this could be a week-long storm. Like, we don't know where to get another plane out. Hopefully tomorrow, but we can't guarantee anything. No one else was willing to do it. I had no bag I got on this plane. We take off, and it's just like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've seen videos of, like, turbulence alone cannot crash a plane.
Yeah.
But I swear we were dropping and raising 100 to 200 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just insane. The captain came on, and I don't know if it was a pilot or co-pilot, came on and was like, yeah, we're going to be experiencing, oh, shit! Like, and, like, everyone was like, what?
It's like the Disneyland Twilight Zone ride. What's that one? Tower of Terror?
Yeah, we'll be just fine. And, like, he wasn't saying, and then he came, he's like, sorry, everything is fine. But I was sitting there just like, oh, this is it. This is fucking it. And then you never know, but, like, you always have that thought, like, if you fight to get on that plane,
oh, yeah.
is that going to be the one that goes down?
Oh, well, that's
like
the Buddy Holly one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Guy gave coin toss, gave up his seat.
Right.
He just died like a week ago.
Oh, did he?
Look how long he lived for that coin toss. Oh, my God.
But staying on your, you never know is the gist of it. And then my other pet peeve, just my pet peeve, and I feel like I don't know why so many people are garbage cans these days. Dude, wear headphones.
Yeah.
Or don't use sound. If you're on a plane,
unbelievable.
All these people, I just don't get the number of people watching movies, listening to music, or doing whatever the fuck it is without headphones. And I get you forgot your headphones. That sucks.
Just don't watch it.
You're on a plane for 3 hours. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Your kid doesn't need to hear their fucking game if they don't have headphones.
I'm still waiting for the rated R flight, where there's just no kids allowed on the flight.
Sure.
I mean, you know, for me, it's like, you know, I could just choose that, like, like hotels.
You pay a little extra and you sit in the no kid area or whatever. Sure, why not?
No kid on the whole plane.
Yeah.
This is once a day at 4:00. It's the no kid plane.
Yeah.
And that goes for adults who act like kids.
Right, yeah.
I'm talking about, this is more of like the pro skier style. Like, you know, when you see the double black barrel.
Yeah.
That's the type of traveling I do.
Right.
So that's where you go, I only want to sign up for the triple black barrel. Yeah. Because I'm a pro here. I'm going right through this line. I'm ready to go to sleep in 6 minutes when I get on the flight.
Yeah.
I want no noise.
I don't need anything. I don't need a fucking drink.
I don't need any drinks.
The flight's an hour long.
I got all my shit.
Right.
Yeah, quit coming up and down this aisle, bumping my elbow and waking me up. You know what I mean?
Get in, sit down, we're done.
Yeah, and I know how to put on my seatbelt. Fuck off with that speech. I don't need that one. You know, it's so insane. And I know it's a non-smoking flight. Has been since 84. You know what I mean?
So I know that flying has been well covered in the stand-up world, but Dean, you have 2 new bits. I'm not kidding. I'm not, like, these aren't them yet, but you have 2 new bits. It's so fucking funny. That's so funny.
All right, quick thing. You got to get out, and I'm glad we did this because it was awesome. If you live in the LA area, my favorite clothing show on the planet is coming up. And the rumors are this is the last one, which is an absolute fucking shocker to me. Inspirations, it's going to be on February 10th and 11th. And if you've never been to this, it is unbelievable. And it's at the Reef Building downtown, Friday night and Saturday. Do not miss that. Also, what else? Oh, Blind Melon Soup came out on vinyl today. I hear it's incredible. I'm going to get it. Get that. Spicer's Records coming out. When is it?
February 6th on iTunes, Amazon MP3, and the Google Music Store. You can pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon MP3. It's called We're All Gonna Die. Yeah. And then you're going to San Diego.
Yep, I'm doing... it's my birthday, February 3rd and 4th next week. I'll be running an hour. I'll be running 2 minutes back to back. But that's my plan, to run 2 different 30 minutes. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I finished the first 30.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
I walk off stage for a minute. I come back on. I do another 30.
The host comes back out. Please welcome your co-headliner.
I'm going to record it, though, and see if I get anything.
Yeah.
And maybe put it out, because
Great.
I put my music CD out, and now I figured out exactly how easy it is, like so an idiot.
Yep.
I use Catapult. Who'd you use?
CD Baby.
CD Baby.
I use them for the first one, use them for this. Like, there's pros and cons of all of them, but I knew how to do it.
Right.
This is why I did it that way again.
Yeah, it's me. Like Catapult, it was so fucking easy. It was a little time taking, putting down the time codes and all that, but other than that, great. And then I'm headlining one night, Denver Sioux Teatro Theater on the 18th, and get your tickets on that right away. Come out to that. Let's see what we can do. Good job, everybody that came out to the Improv. I was saying, like, if everyone in the LA area went to my show at the Improv, it would be sold out 19 days. Straight. 19 days straight.
Yeah.
If everyone just picked one of the nights, it'd be sold out 19 days straight.
Yeah.
Unbelievable to think of that, right?
Yeah.
Free content I give you every week. One last thing. I got some, I just got to do this because I got a couple donations and I want to make sure that I give them the shout outs because it was so damn cool. Let's see here. First of all, thanks for the donations. Michael Street, thank you, buddy. Awesome. And then who else here? Oh, here it is. Chad Pollock. What a fucking great guy. 2 awesome donations this week to Let There Be Talk. If you want to donate or just say hey or try to battle me over politics, Dean Delray at yahoo.com. And Spicer, where are you at?
Twitter's easy at Spicer, and you can always email me, christian.spicer@gmail.com. Put something in the subject line. Don't waste your subject line, because we all get too many emails. Everybody. You do. I do. You do, I do, we all do. Put something in the subject line. I want to get back to you. I just need to see it.
Yeah, put in there, hey, Spicer, let's fight about Trump.
Or put like, let there be talk, fuck you about Trump. And Fine, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, great to see you, dude.
Likewise, dude. Thanks for having me.
And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going to see the Comedian movie tonight. I'm going to the premiere.
Awesome.
I'm fired up to see this thing. It comes out February 3rd, De Niro.
Yep.
If you've never seen his last one, years in the 70s, when he played a comic. What was that called with Jerry Lewis?
Yeah.
God, I fucking forget right now.
Yeah, don't put me on the spot.
Yeah.
All I know is buy my album. That's all I know.
Yeah, buy his album.
That's all I know right now.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy.
Who recorded it?
Lou Brazier out of Lestats. He's a sound engineer. Dude, you should chat with him. He used to road with all of these great bands.
Oh, yeah, you told me
and
that.
Now he's settled down there.
Yeah.
He did my first album. And then this guy, Mike.
Can you hear the audience good?
Yeah. The audience is good. And then I had a guy do a mix. He did it the first time, too. I don't understand sound stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I listened to the raw recording. This is good. And then Micah, who used to be here, now he's in Minnesota, I think. He's like, he was a friend. He's like, hey, let me just show you a sample of what I can do. And I'm like, I'm not looking to like juice. It's like, he's like, no, trust me. Yeah. And he gave me a sample. And the difference, the only way I can explain it for someone that doesn't do sound engineering is that it feels like you're there.
Oh, wow,
like
that's
the
cool.
raw recording sounds good.
It gives it a soundscape.
He gave it like a soundscale or space.
Instead of flat.
Right. So it's really, really cool. I love what those people do, man. It's incredible.
Wow, maybe I'll get my files, send it to him?
Yeah, he's great. He's
all
the
right,
best.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Catatonic. One last thing. I forgot. This episode's brought to you by El Cohen Harley, my fantastic sponsor. Do not sleep. Get your motorcycles from them. We're having a bike night on February 3rd. The 9:30 show is going to be El Cohen Harley. So if you got a motorcycle down in San Diego, they're all leaving from El Cohen Harley,
awesome.
going to ride to La Jolla Comedy Store. We're going to have a bike night. This is going to be fucking great.
Let's hear those new engines create some thunder in San
Yeah,
Diego,
I got
right?
the new engine, dude. It's insane.
saw pictures of everything you had. That's a piece of art.
That bike is phenomenal.
It's a piece of
El
art.
Cajon crushed it. I ride the bike. I've been riding it now for 2 weeks, and I just talk to myself like, this bike is incredible. And I know people are looking at me like, what a freak. Anyway, El Cajon Harley, go see Greg Riley. Get yourself, man, I need some heated gloves right now. I got heated grips, and it's still not hot enough. It is cold, man.
Yeah.
And don't hit me up with like, I'll show you cold Minnesota. I don't care. It was in the 30s here all fucking week.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Get some heated grips, heated seat. I got a heated seat. My ass is on fire. Ladies. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Let there be talk.